Good morning, grade 4. So, this is the lesson part 2 of reproduction in animals. We have done part 1 in the previous session. I hope you can recollect some of the important points from the lesson. Before we start with today's topics, we'll just have a quick recap. I hope you all must have done the homework that is given to you with some drawings and some new words you were asked to write. I hope you must have also read the pages I recommended from page 154, 155 and 156. So let's do a quick recap of the lesson what we have learned in the previous class. So we have first and the foremost we learned about the definition of reproduction. The process by which animals produce their own kind is called reproduction. So human beings give birth to young ones and the animals like cow, dog, cat, which also fall into the category of mammals, they also reproduce by giving birth to young ones. And some animals like birds, reptiles, snakes and all, they give birth to, they lay eggs and then they develop into the young ones. And we have also studied about the important features of the mammals. So under which we have studied that mammals take care of the young ones, they give birth to young ones, they take care of the young ones. They also feed the young ones with their own milk, and they also uh, have hair on their bodies. They clean the bodies, they keep them warm. So we discussed about so many examples of mammals also. They are warm blooded and their temperature remains constant. So these were the facts we learned about the mammals. So what about the egg laying animals? The birds come under the first category of egg laying animals. So what do? They lay the eggs, they take care of the eggs, then they sit on the eggs to provide warmth to the egg, and after a few days the bird comes out of the egg and it flies away. So this is all about the egg, but we are surprised to know the internal structure of the egg. So far you know the egg, the hen's egg you know only as an eating item, right? So we are learning the structure of an egg. This is the first time in your grade 4 you're learning the structure of an egg, which is very nice and interesting. So what did we learn in the structure of an egg? The outermost shell is hard, which is protecting the liquid that is present inside. That is a white liquid and a yellow color substance in the center of the white liquid. So what is this white liquid called? The white liquid is called as the albumin and the yellow substance is called as the yolk. So what is the use of the yolk? The yolk, it becomes the food for the growing baby. Once again, to understand the new terms of this chapter, what is the growing baby called? It is the embryo. So what will it become? As it grows, the embryo will develop into a baby. So this is about the internal structure of egg. So this was given to you as a homework from this page. Hope you all have followed it. Okay. So the color of yolk is yellow and the color of albumin is white, and we also know the purpose of it. Now in this chapter we are going to learn about the reproduction in the fish. So how do the fish develop uh, with the process of reproduction, that we are going to read. So fish lay eggs in the water. The eggs of a fish are called spawn. Out of thousands of eggs, only a few develop into small fishes. Many eggs and small fishes are eaten by big fishes. So this is a very important fact we learn about the fish. Where do they lay their eggs? You all know where do they live. They live in water. So it's so natural that they lay eggs in water itself. So how do they lay eggs? In hundreds of numbers. And what is the name given to the group of eggs of fish? It is the spawn. spawn, spawn. Okay. And do you think all the eggs laid by the fish are developing into young ones? No, not all the fish laid eggs are growing into the young ones, because some of the eggs are eaten up by the big fish, and some of them they get destroyed. Now let's look at the column: snakes, turtles, lizards and crocodiles. So these lay their eggs on the ground. Their eggs are protected by the shells, but these shells are not as hard as the chicks or the bird's eggshell. That is the reason why not all the eggs develop into young ones again, because they are very brittle, they are not very hard, they are not taken care by their parents also. So they don't develop, most of them get destroyed and some of them are eaten up by the other animals. Now let's understand about the reproduction in frogs. So what do you understand about the reproduction in frogs? Frogs also lay eggs in the water only. Why do you think so? Because they want the eggs to be very safe. They lay the eggs in water. They want the eggs to be safe, but they don't take care. They only just feed. Sometimes they hatch them into the tadpoles. Tadpoles grow into frogs. They take care of the babies only for some time. That is also not very prominent. So when you look at this figure 3.7, you can see the different stages of the development of the frog. So what is the first stage? You find them, you find eggs as the first stage, and these eggs will grow into the small tadpole. Okay, this is the larva of the frog. Then this tadpole will grow into young frog, and then this will develop into an adult frog. Okay, so when you look at the pictures, you find them very interesting. I want you to look at figure 3.7 to find your explanation little interesting. So you can see the eggs in the lake. They develop into the tadpole, that is the larva. The tadpole grows into young frog. The young frog grows into the adult frog. So next one, turn the page. We are going to learn about the reproduction in insects. Okay, so far what we have learned, a quick recap. We have learned about the reproduction in mammals, reproduction in birds, reproduction in reptiles, crocodiles, reproduction in fish, reproduction in frogs, and the different stages of the frog's developmental life cycle. So what is the group of eggs laid by the fish called? They are called as the spawn. And do you think all the eggs laid by the fish grow? No. Why? What is the reason? Because some of them are eaten up by other big fish and some of them get destroyed. Then what about the life cycle of the frogs? The life cycle of the frogs, it is the stage 1, it is the eggs. They lay them in the water so that the eggs are very, very safe. And after the first stage, they grow into the second stage, that is the larva stage, that is called tadpole. From the tadpole, again the young frog grows, and from the young frog, the adult frog grows. So this is the thing we have learnt as a new topic today. Now we will learn about the life cycle in insects. So what is very particular about insects? So you must have seen the cockroach which is present in the kitchen. That is also an insect. So let's first understand the life cycle of a cockroach. So you look at figure 3.8 and let's read the paragraph once. All insects develop from eggs. Some insects such as grasshopper and cockroach pass through 3 stages in their life cycle. In these cases, the baby which comes out of an egg differs very little from the insect. It is called a nymph. The nymph sheds its skin. This process by which baby insects shed their skin before they grow into adults is called molting. After molting several times, a nymph becomes an adult. So this is the fact about the life cycle of a cockroach. So let's understand with the help of pictures. So in your kitchen also several times you must have seen the hard, little hard egg of a cockroach, black in color or brown in color. So this will grow into, this is stage 1. What stage is this? Stage 1, egg. Then this egg grows into nymph, NYMPH, that is stage 2. So how does it look? This does not resemble the adult one, but smaller in its size, and this will mold several times. It will shed the skin. And finally it becomes the adult cockroach. It will mold the skin for several times. Means what? It grows into, it will remove the outermost skin for so many times, then it will grow into the adult cockroach. So this is how the cockroach's life cycle has how many stages? 3 stages in its life cycle. So along with this, grasshopper also has 3 stages. But in this lesson we got an opportunity to learn about the cockroach life cycle. So you see the picture and also look at the figures drawn on the board. You will understand what is the first stage in the cockroach's life cycle? Egg. What is the second stage? That is the nymph, that is the baby insect. But this does not look like the adult, it is different, and it will shed the outermost skin for several times and then becomes the adult cockroach. And what is that process of shedding the skin called? Molting. MOULTING. Molting. Can everybody repeat? MOULTING. Very good. So that is all about the cockroach. So what is the next topic after the cockroach? Cockroach is an insect where we have the life cycle with 3 stages. Now we are going to learn about the insects that have 4 stages in their life cycle. How many stages? 4 stages. In frog also we have observed 4 stages, right? But that's not an insect. But here in the insect, first we studied about the 3 stages of life cycle, that is in the grasshopper and cockroach. And now we are going to learn about the insects that have 4 stages in their life cycle. So what are those insects? Housefly and butterfly. What are those insects? Housefly and butterfly. So butterfly is a very interesting insect, a very beautiful insect out of all insects. What is the most beautiful one if you ask me? I say it is the butterfly. So let's look at figure 3.9. If you can observe the figure given here, you can clearly see the eggs which are laid on the leaf or behind the leaf. From the eggs, the small larva that is called caterpillar develops, and from the caterpillar you have the pupa developed, which is a cocoon, and inside the development of the insect will happen for so many days. So from this stage it will slowly grow, and one fine day the cocoon will open and the butterfly will come out of the pupa. So this is about the life cycle of the butterfly. So let's just draw on the board and understand. For your understanding, I want to just draw it on the board. So where does it lay the eggs? On the leaf or behind the leaf? Which stage is this? Stage 1. From this, it will grow into a worm, which is the caterpillar, and stage 2. This is the worm. This is the caterpillar, and what will it eat? It will eat the leaf. It will eat the leaf, and then it grows in its size. Then it develops the pupa. This is the pupa stage. What is the stage number? It is stage 3. Pupa is the stage 3. And what is this structure where you can see inside the worm, the insect is developing? That is the cocoon of the pupa, and inside the worm is developing. And finally the stage 4, what you will see? You will see the beautiful butterfly. This is stage 4, and you call it as adult butterfly. You know the spelling of butterfly. So what are the 4 stages, if you can just repeat? First stage is eggs. Second stage is the worm like caterpillar. Third stage is pupa, which is a cocoon, which is a solid cocoon structure where it has the insect growing inside, and it grows into the 4th stage, that is the beautiful butterfly. So once it reaches stage 3, the development starts inside. One fine day, it will break open and this beautiful butterfly will come out of the pupa. Then again the life cycle continues. How? Again this adult butterfly will lay eggs. These eggs will become caterpillar, caterpillar becomes pupa, pupa will develop into the adult butterfly. So this is what is the life cycle. It keeps rotating, it keeps happening like a cycle. That is why it is called as the life cycle of a butterfly. So along with this, what is the other life cycle of an insect which has 4 stages? That is the housefly. And you know the insect of the housefly is called as the maggot. The caterpillar, the larva of the housefly is called as the maggot, and the larva of the butterfly is called as the caterpillar. So just remember the larva of housefly as maggot. The spelling is M-A-G-G-O-T, maggot. That is the larva of the housefly. What is the larva of the butterfly? Caterpillar. C-A-T-E-R-P-I-L-L-A-R. Caterpillar. So you should be able to answer whenever I ask you the question thoroughly, because when you listen to the lesson carefully and you read the lesson only, you will remember the facts from the lessons. Okay. So let's read this paragraph. After learning this, other insects such as housefly and butterfly, they pass through 4 stages in their life cycle. In their case, the young ones which hatch out of the egg are quite different from the adult insects. We can see that this is the adult butterfly and this is the larva. Is there any comparison? Does it resemble the adult? Not at all. So, here the larva of this adult will never match the adult. They are totally different. So, what is the larva of the housefly? The larva of housefly is called maggot and that of a butterfly is called caterpillar. The larva feeds and grows rapidly. After some time, it covers itself in a cocoon. This stage is called pupa. Finally, the pupa bursts open and adult insects comes out of it. The babies of the insects are not looked after by the parent. This is one fact that we should understand. Unlike your mammals and the birds, the babies are not taken care in case of the insects, in case of reptiles, snakes and other animals. Okay. So, we are done with the lesson. Now, it's time to look at the important points, that is, let us remember a quick recap of all the points, and you need to underline the points when, as and when I am saying that it is important. So, read the first one. Reproduction is a process by which living beings produce their own kind. So, what is the first one? Reproduction is a process by which living beings produce their own kind. So, what is the point you underline? Reproduction. Point number 2. The animals which reproduce by giving birth to young ones are called mammals. So, what is the important point you think in this? Mammals is the important point. So, underline mammals. Point number 3. Human beings are also mammals. What is the word that you underline? Human beings is the word that you have to underline. Sentence number 4. Birds, snakes, lizards, frogs, fishes and insects reproduce by laying eggs. So, what is the important point in this? Laying eggs. You need to underline that. Next, sentence number 5. The eggs of animals have white thick liquid called albumen and yellow part in the center. Yellow part is called as yolk and the white liquid part is called as albumen. So, what do you think is important in this line? Albumen and yolk. So, you need to underline both. Next sentence. The growing baby uses yolk as its food. So, what do you underline in this? You have to underline yolk as an important point. The last sentence. Insects such as housefly and butterfly pass through 4 stages in their life cycle. What are those 4 stages? Egg, larva, pupa and adult. So, which is very much visible on the board, which I have drawn on the board for you all. While explaining the life cycle of butterfly, I showed you all 4 stages of the life cycle, and the same with the housefly also, but only difference is here the larva of the housefly is called as the maggot, the larva of the butterfly is called as the caterpillar, but both of them have 4 stages and both of them the adult will not resemble the larva. So, they have 4 stages. This is the, and they don't take care of the young ones. So, all these are the resemblances between the housefly and the butterfly. So, after learning the whole chapter, we'll just understand the major headings of this lesson. If you can go back to your page number 154, we have learnt about the definition of the reproduction, animals that give birth to young ones, where you can see the pictures of all the mammals. I want you to see the pictures of all the mammals given in this page. Then turn the page. There we have learnt about the so many features of the mammals here in this paragraph, and then down we have understood about the common features of mammals and then animals that lay eggs. After that we learned the structure of an egg, which was very interesting and a new topic. So, the structure of an egg is a totally new concept for you. You have never studied before. This is the first time that you are studying and it's a very important topic. So, I want you to look into this topic very keenly, draw, read, understand the concept, which is very important. Next, we learned about the fishes, how they reproduce and what is spawn we studied. And then snakes, turtles, lizards and crocodiles, whether they take care or not. No, they don't take care. And where do they lay eggs? On the ground. And are the eggs having hard shells like your chick egg and the hen eggs? No, they're not hard. So they're very brittle. They're also eaten up by other animals sometimes. So that's why not all of them develop into young ones. Next we studied about the frogs and the different developmental stages of the frog. There are 4 stages we studied. And what is the larva of the frog? That is the tadpole. And does frog take care of its young one? For a very short time the frog takes care of the young one. And where does it lay eggs? Just like how fish lays eggs in the water. Frogs also stay near the lake only to lay eggs in the water to keep the eggs very safe. So next we studied about the life cycles of different insects. As a part of it, we just studied about cockroach. How many stages are there in cockroach's life cycle? 3 stages. Very good. So what are those 3 stages? Egg, nymph and adult cockroach. And what is the process of shedding of the old skin several times by the nymph called? The process is called as the molting. So when does it become an adult cockroach from the nymph, and does the nymph resemble the adult cockroach? What is the answer? No. The nymph will not resemble the adult cockroach. Only after several times shedding the skin, after several times molting, it will turn into the adult cockroach. So this is the fact about the life cycle of cockroach. There are only 3 stages. Next we studied about the insects like housefly and butterfly, where they have 4 stages in their life cycle. What are the names of the larva of housefly and butterfly? They are different. Though they have 4 stages, the larva of the housefly is called as maggot. The larva of the butterfly is called as a caterpillar. Okay. So, what are the 4 stages of the butterfly life cycle? You look at page 3.9, which I have asked. I drew it on the board. You have it on the board also behind. So, I want you to draw both the life cycles from the textbook. So, it will be more clear for you to draw from the textbook. So, what is the first stage? Stage 1 is eggs. In the stage 2, caterpillar. Stage 3, pupa. Stage 4, adult butterfly. So, why do you call it as a life cycle? Because the life continues in a cycle. Like a cycle, the life continues. The 4 stages will continue throughout. First eggs, the caterpillar, pupa and the adult butterfly. Again the adult butterfly will lay eggs on the plant's leaves and then they grow into the caterpillar. And what is the food of the caterpillar? I have also explained to you that the food of the caterpillar is the leaves. It will eat lot of leaves on the trees where it is hanging. And what is the other name of pupa? Cocoon is the other name of the pupa. So what do you think is inside the pupa? Inside the pupa is the developing insect. The developing butterfly will be there inside. So how does the butterfly come out? The butterfly will come out by breaking or by break open of this pupa or the cocoon one fine day after developing for so many days, and it will come out and it will fly away. So this is about the whole chapter. We did thorough study. I did lot of revision of all the topics as and when they are covered. I'm sure you must have understood the lesson and you must have enjoyed the lesson. By next class, I expect you to read the lesson thoroughly 2 to 3 times. Underline all the new terms and whatever new words are given, you write them in your classwork. The question and answers also you need to write them in the classwork 2 times. And if you read the lesson thoroughly, by next class we will be able to do the exercises from page number 158. So that class we will utilize to use page 158, little recap, and then we will proceed to the new topic in the next class. So come prepared with the reading part and thorough preparation to do your